Manchester United could be about to gatecrash one of Arsenal's biggest transfer targets, while at the same time trying to lock down their own captain before a Turkish giant convinces him to walk away for good. Two massive United stories breaking today, and they couldn't be more different. One is about who's coming in, the other is about making absolutely sure someone doesn't go out. And honestly, when you look at them side by side, they tell you a lot about where this club actually is right now under Michael Carrick. We've got Alan Pardew publicly urging United to hijack Arsenal's move for a Premier League centre-back. And we've got Fabrizio Romano confirming that contract talks for Bruno Fernandes are advancing. This after Galatasaray reportedly put a huge offer on the table to try and prize him away. Stick around because there's a lot to unpack in both of these, and I think the details matter more than the headlines here. Let's start with the defense, because this one is genuinely spicy. Aston Villa's Ezri Konsa has been strongly linked with Arsenal for weeks now. Mikel Arteta's side need cover after William Saliba's injury, and Konsa has been firmly on their radar, alongside Bayer Leverkusen's Ezri Konsa as an alternative option. Arsenal have already had one bid rejected for Konsa, somewhere around £30 million. And Villa simply are not budging from their valuation, which sits at roughly £60 million. That stalemate between Arsenal and Villa, that's exactly where things get interesting for Manchester United. Former Premier League manager Alan Pardew has come out publicly and said United should be seriously considering hijacking this entire deal. Speaking to TalkSport, Pardew compared Konsa's profile to an Old Trafford favorite. A centre-back who can pass out from the back, who's dominant in the air, and who chips in with the occasional goal from a set piece. That's a pretty specific and pretty flattering comparison, and it's the kind of praise that's going to get United fans' attention fast. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, why does United even need another centre-back? Because on paper, Michael Carrick already has a fairly stacked options list. Harry Maguire, Matthijs de Ligt, Lisandro Martinez, Lenny Yoro, Aiden Heaven, 5 senior centre-backs already at the club. But look a little closer at that list, because the depth is a bit more fragile than it appears at first glance. Maguire is 33 years old now, and while he's still a reliable option, he's not getting any younger. Martinez and de Ligt have both dealt with recurring injury problems over the past couple of seasons. Availability, not ability, has been the issue there. And then you've got Yoro and Heaven, both hugely promising, both clearly part of the club's long-term plans, but both still very young and still developing into first-team regulars. So the argument for Konsa isn't really United are desperate for bodies. It's more about balance and insurance. A proven in his prime Premier League defender, someone who's already played at a high level week in, week out, could act as the bridge between that aging but experienced group and the exciting but raw group. That's a smart structural signing if the price is right. And then there's the second layer to all of this, the rivalry angle, which I think is honestly the most fun part of the story. Arsenal are actively pursuing Konsa right now. If United swoop in underneath them and take the player instead, this isn't just squad building anymore. It becomes a direct blow to a genuine title rival. And on top of that, Konsa's ability to also cover right back adds real tactical value. Versatile defenders like that are exactly what top clubs are hunting for in the modern game, because it effectively gives you 2 positions covered by 1 squad slot. But, and this is the part that really matters when you strip away the rivalry narrative, the £60 million price tag is the genuine sticking point here. Michael Carrick has already been fairly open about the club operating under financial limits when it comes to further major spending this summer. So the real question isn't, do United want him? It's, are United willing to pay Arsenal-level money purely to win a transfer battle for a position that isn't technically their most urgent need? That's a genuinely tricky call for United's recruitment department to make. Overpaying just to spite a direct rival is not smart business in a vacuum. But at the same time, watching a proven, dual-position, prime-age defender walk straight into a direct competitor's back four, a defender you could have had, that stings in a very different way. It's the kind of decision that gets second-guessed for years if it goes wrong either way. Worth keeping a close eye on this one, especially with Arsenal seemingly stuck on that valuation gap with Villa. If that gap doesn't close soon, Don't be surprised if United's name starts appearing more seriously in genuine, sourced reporting rather than just pundit suggestions like Pardew's. Now let's flip over to the other side of the pitch, literally, because United's captain situation is heating up fast, and this one's been simmering for a while. Bruno Fernandes has been a constant name in the transfer rumor mill this summer, and this time it's Galatasaray pushing hardest. According to the Daily Telegraph, the Turkish giants are described as determined to bring Fernandes to the Super League, reportedly offering him a 4-year deal worth around 21 million euros net annually. Converted, that's roughly 18.3 million pounds a year, an enormous salary offer by almost any club standard. Now, context matters a lot here because this isn't coming out of nowhere. Fernandes has actually had a somewhat rocky relationship with United's hierarchy in the recent past. Back in December, he publicly revealed that he was hurt when he realized the club had actually wanted him to leave for Saudi side Al Hilal the previous summer. So there's real emotional history layered underneath this story. This isn't just a straightforward transfer rumor, there's some genuine sensitivity there for the player himself. But here's the twist in the tale. Despite that history, despite the noise, Fernandes has been one of the only consistent bright sparks for United through a genuinely difficult stretch under previous managers. And the club now very clearly sees him as essential to the project going forward, not expendable like he perhaps once was. According to transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, United have already responded proactively to the Galatasaray threat, and crucially, they moved early, not reactively. Romano says United actually offered Fernandes a new contract all the way back at the end of May, specifically to shut down any temptation from Galatasaray or from other top European clubs, before that speculation could really gain momentum. Romano's message on this was pretty clear and pretty direct. This is an important ongoing negotiation for the club. Fernandes' current deal runs until June 2027, with a club option to extend it even further. So technically speaking, United aren't under any real contractual pressure here. They are protected either way. But the club still wants to give their captain the security, the respect, and the confidence of a brand new deal, rather than just leaving him to play out his existing contract while rival clubs continue to circle in the background. One detail Romano flagged that I think is genuinely fascinating and easy to miss is that the financial side of these talks is partly tied to Marcus Rashford's return to the club. Rashford's salary is described as a huge number internally, and that's reportedly become part of the broader conversation around how United structure Fernandes' new deal. The length of the contract, the wage structure, and importantly, whether his existing release clause, currently set at around 65 million euros, survives into any new agreement or gets removed or altered entirely. And then, almost like an exclamation point on the whole story, Romano dropped an additional update on Instagram confirming that talks are progressing well, that Bruno is reportedly prioritizing Manchester United over interest from Galatasaray, from Saudi clubs, and from other European sides. He capped it all off with one word in capital letters: untouchable, which tells you exactly how United's hierarchy currently views their captain. So, reading between the lines here, this really doesn't feel like a will he, won't he leave situation anymore. It sounds much more like United quietly tying up loose ends with their captain, getting ahead of the speculation before it has the chance to spiral the way things did with Rashford not that long ago. So, what do these two stories actually tell us when you put them side by side? On one hand, you've got United potentially being aggressive and opportunistic in the market, willing to disrupt a direct rival's business if the value and the timing line up in their favor. On the other hand, you've got a club being proactive on retention, locking down their captain early rather than waiting for speculation to spiral out of control, the way it very nearly did with Rashford in the past. Both of these situations, if they land the way United want them to, send a pretty similar underlying message. This version of Manchester United under Carrick appears to be thinking a little more long-term than in previous years. Not just reacting to headlines as they happen, but actively trying to control the narrative around the club, whether that means blocking a direct rival's transfer business or protecting the dressing room's clear leader and talisman. Whether the Konsa deal actually happens really depends on finances, and how far United are genuinely willing to stretch for what would essentially be a statement signing rather than a strictly needed one. The Fernandes situation, by comparison, feels considerably further along and much more likely to end with an extension being signed in the coming weeks rather than months. So that's where things stand right now. Manchester United potentially eyeing a hijack of Arsenal's defensive target and simultaneously working hard behind the scenes to keep their captain locked in for years to come. Let me know down in the comments. Should United actually go all in and pay £60 million for Konsa just to beat Arsenal to it? And do you think Bruno signs that new deal before the transfer window shuts? If you want the latest on both of these as they develop, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because this Konsa race and the Bruno contract talks both look like they're moving fast in the days ahead. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.